Top of the morning, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Jarrell, Big Baby Miller. Jarrell Miller says that he wants to be the one to retire Anthony Joshua. He says, I'll gut him. Wow. And Jarrell Miller had this to say. He said, my main focus is knocking Dubois out. And then coming back on February 13th, card on Usyk and Tyson Fury, if that's going to happen, and hopefully get Mahmoud Char for that title fight. He also said, but if not Char, I would really love to gutter AJ and retire him. Those are the words of Jarrell Big Baby Miller, and let me counterpunch. I think first things first, I think Jarrell Miller really has to focus on Daniel Dubois, because one thing we know about Daniel Dubois, he can punch. And one thing we know about Jarrell Miller's like a guy that's an immovable object, meaning he's not going anywhere, meaning he's not Usyk, and Dubois was able to hit Usyk. Okay, so I think he needs to worry about that. I think, honestly, both of these guys have a lot to prove. Jarrell Miller has to prove that he can still fight, that he's still credible. Yeah, he can still talk shit. He can still self-promote, but can he do that and produce something credible in the ring? He has to prove that first. Same thing for Dubois. Dubois has to prove that, hey, I'm not what people think I am. I'm still a dangerous person. I'm still on that journey of being another champion, because he was the WBA regular at one point, right? And he's not a quitter like a lot of people said he is, and he still wants a go. So both of these guys have something to prove. I think he needs to worry about that first. However, if December 23rd, which will be a massive night of boxing, I mean a massive night of boxing. See, if that, or should I say when, I'm not going to say if, when that fight happens and who happens to win, if Jarrell Miller beats Daniel Dubois, okay, then I think, the next step would be getting on the undercard of Tyson Fury versus Usyk, okay, and, getting a title, that same title that, Dubois lost on the WBA end. I think that should be a way to go about doing that. However, at that point, he should be focused on being a champion. Now, him fighting Anthony Joshua, I think he should take a better step at fighting someone like AJ. I think beating Dubois would be a good step, okay? But the next step is fighting someone credible, and I don't think Mahmoud Char is really it. I know he's looking for a belt, and I know that was what was planned, but I think he has a bigger opportunity with this tournament than being the WBA champion. I think the WBA regular champion is almost like a equivalent of a British title, okay? I don't think it really means much unless he uses it like Daniel Dubois did to get an opportunity for the championship. Well, AJ's not a champion. And I don't think the WBA regular is enough to lure Eddie and Anthony into a title shot, because talking is just not enough. It's not enough. And saying, well, yeah, I would love to retire AJ, but I think Jarrell Miller has many more steps to take until he gets back to the opportunity to get an AJ fight. Now, I know boxing is strange and everything else, but at the end of the day, though, Jarrell Miller has a long way to travel back. And I don't think it should be that easy, because a lot of people still to this day don't believe that he belongs in the ring, i.e. Tony Bellew and many, many others. So he has to show those many, many others that he can still fight without the enhancers, right? But to say he will gut AJ, I think he's doing exactly what he should do, but at the same time, focus and don't take his eye off the ball. His eye should be on Daniel Dubois. Okay, not AJ. I know, again, he's a self-promoter, and I know many fighters have become famous, infamous at but very effective at talking a lot of smack. Okay, so him capping and, smack talking and all that, that sounds good, but he does need to deliver. But as long as he keeps winning, he can keep talking. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Jarrell Big Baby Miller saying that he would love to retire AJ and gut him. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.